Hi, folks, and welcome back to Free America. Now, I'm constantly telling you that I have something really special to share with you when I start out videos, but this time I have something really special to share with you. What you have in front of you here is the rarest Mark II combat knife that was made for the United States Marine Corps during the Second World War. This knife was made by the Robeson Cutlery Company. And this is a very early knife with a blued blade. It has red spacers top and bottom, leather stack washers, and a thick pommel. Now, one of the cool things about the Robesons was this thick pommel was screwed on, and then it was welded, and then the weld was ground down. This is the only one of these. This is the only model that did this, was the Robeson Mark II. Now, let me see if I can show you. It says Robeson Sure Edge right here on the hilt. And on this side, USMC. This is the only USMC made knife from Robeson. These are exceptionally rare. It's very, very hard to get your hands on one. And I was very happy and lucky to be able to get my hands on this one. So there's a couple of unique things about this knife. Of course, obviously, it's an early knife, right? It's got the blued blade, red spacers. So red spacers were something that was very common in the sporting knife industry in the run-up, the time that up to the Second World War, because the thought was this is vulcanized rubber material, right? It's hard rubber, and the thought was that the leather handle would absorb moisture, and that the spacers would keep the leather handle from touching the metal when it was wet. As the war progressed, all of the knife manufacturers that did this stopped doing it. Also, blued blades. Bluing was very common. As you can see, this is a nice shiny blue. Blued blades were very common. This one is kind of boogered up. Somebody tried to sharpen it on a grinder, messed it up. So blued blades didn't fare as well in the field as the later Parkerized blades did. So again, this is a really neat knife. You do not see these very often. When you do, they are ridiculously expensive. So, interestingly enough, this early Robeson USMC Mark knife also had a unique leather sheath. So let's take a quick look. Now, unfortunately, this one broke. So the top snap that snaps onto here broke off and it's missing. And that's too bad because the snap actually had a design on it. And I'll put some pictures in here in this video so you can see those as well. But there are some things about this knife that are unique. First of all, this is a 9-rivet knife, or 9-rivet sheath, right? All of these rivets are relatively small and green, right? And it has a single line of black stitching all the way around. And that is unique. So you do not see this particular combination on any other sheath of this era. So unfortunately, these knives are faked. So you have to be very careful with what you buy. You kind of have to know what you're looking at. So this video is intended to help you be able to see a fake, spot a fake, and so forth. Now, I've seen a couple of knives that came with Boyd 1943 marked sheaths, which is fine, except that when this knife left the Robeson Cutlery factory, it came with this sheath. Now, sheaths like this, these leather sheaths that were carried almost exclusively by the Marine Corps. I shouldn't say that. The Navy carried them as well, but the Navy also carried the plastic sheaths, the fiber sheaths. The sheaths that have been used, that have been hanging from your equipment in the field, often have this rounded edge on the bottom, because when it's hanging from your belt and you're kneeling down, oftentimes the tip of the sheath is jammed into the dirt, and so you see it's dirty and bent, right? So that's something that's really pretty common. So again, I'm glad to be able to share this with you guys. This is an extremely rare knife, and this is what a real one looks like. So look at the bluing on that, guys. It's very, very nice. Even on the guard. It has the false edge on this is sharpened, but not sharpened all the way like the edge of the blade. And this one actually still has a really good edge on it. So you'll see here red and black spacers, top and bottom. So I'm very happy to bring this knife out to share with you today. And one of the other features of this knife is you can see that you don't have the deep sweep on the tip of this knife. This one is often referred to as a blunt edge, although it's not blunt, right? It's just not the deep sweep with the sharp point at the end. So that's another feature that you will see on this knife. Now, Robeson made a bunch of other knives for the Navy, right? Robeson also made a knife just like this. It's marked Robeson Cutlery. On the other side is marked USN Mark 1. They came with fiber sheaths. And then later, well, they also came with USN marked sheaths, right, leather sheaths. But later, Robeson went to an all parkerized knife, and they put their markings on the guard. Right, so you'll see RCC USN on these knives, USN Mark 1, and I have one of those as well. Eventually I'll pull it out and do a video on that one too. But I wanted to share this one with you because I think it's such a cool knife. So thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Give me a thumbs up if you thought this was helpful, useful, entertaining, and God bless America.